I got scammed by an SEO expert, and I want to share what my experience was so that hopefully you don't go through the same thing. And I'll also go through and show you how it is that I figured out that I got scammed and how I got attacked by YouTube click farms. Not attacked my channel, but blew up my channel, and why that's a problem. All right, so I'm starting out on my video channel. I'm figuring things out. I'm doing different videos. I'm figuring out how to do thumbnails and how to do titles. It's hit or miss. I'm learning, I'm growing, and I know that's part of the journey about being here on YouTube. And that's fine. But it's hard when you post a video that you put a lot of work into and a lot of time, and you think, oh, this is going to be a great video. This is going to take off. And then it just sits there. And you get maybe a couple watches. Maybe you get a thumbs up if you're lucky. And it can be really disheartening. Now, it's part of the YouTube story, right? It's very rare for people to just take off and be viral right from the beginning. Totally get that. So it takes a lot of patience. But if you know me, patience is not one of my strengths. And I'm also a learner. I really knew that there's a lot that I don't know, and still there's a lot I'm learning. And I know that one of those areas is SEO. It's something I haven't in the past had a lot of patience with. And it's like a mysterious language that I haven't quite learned yet. But I'm thinking, well, maybe if I knew SEO, that this would help my channel take off a bit more and help these videos get out there in front of the people who want to watch the videos, right? So that's fine. Well, I had somebody who kept on reaching out to me in my email. You get spam emails all the time. I know you do. We all do. So I was just like, didn't think much of it. Somebody wrote and said, hey, your channel has issues. There was a screenshot of my channel. He had actually taken my channel and, circled or highlighted the areas that were problematic. So it wasn't just a form email. He had actually taken the time to go to my channel and do a little bit of work. So that I was like, well, that's cool. That's great. This seems a little bit more personalized. So that impressed me. But at the same time, I also am not interested in random people that are emailing me. So I ignored it. He followed up again, and I was like, okay, well, he seems to care, seems to think he can help me. I was like, okay. Didn't really think much of it beyond that. And then he wrote me a third time. And by the third time, I was like, well, he seems really dedicated to help me. So let me look into this a little bit. And I'm a spiritual person. I'm a spiritual YouTuber. So wasn't just doing this with my mind. I checked in with my guides because I communicate with my guides. And the message I got from my guides was like, meh, it's okay. It will be okay. He's not going to be great, but you will learn a lot through this experience. You will learn how to work with other SEO folks. You'll gain some knowledge. So it might be worth it. It's, like if you want to do it, sure. If you don't, that's okay too. So I was like, okay. So it was good that it didn't seem like a horrible red flag, though it was also good that I didn't have unrealistic expectations going into it. But nevertheless, I was a little worried that it was a scam because he was from another country, and if we know anything about our Nigerian princes, we know that in the US we can be a target for other countries that see us as a money grab, which I get. I totally understand. The US has a lot of money and wealth, and it is an easy target. I just didn't want to be targeted as a personal human being. So I wanted to do my research. So he had links to websites, to Facebook, etc. I went and I looked. He had reviews that were done that were people from Western countries that were talking about what it was like to work with him. On his Facebook page, he had a lot of different people that were listed as other life coaches and other spiritual type people. And it had gone back over a year. So this isn't something that just got set up in the last couple of weeks. So that really gave me a sense of legitimacy. My take on it, and it's still, really, to be honest, I don't think that it was a total scam. I'll tell you at the end what I think it really was. But I do think that he is a semi-legitimate SEO person. My take was that he was very driven, that he was very driven to find business for himself, right, from his location in a different country. So I wrote him back and I was very careful. And all along, I really listened to my intuition about this because, again, I felt like something didn't feel right, but yet it also didn't feel completely wrong either. I asked him how much it cost. Seemed to be a reasonable amount when it comes to the US. I looked at how much it would be in his country, would it be a fair amount to him, so that it seemed like a good situation on both sides. So I was like, okay, that's good. A flag as I got started with him because I'm like, okay, well, I'll test him out. It's not very much money. I'll test out a few videos and we'll see how it goes. I figured, well, depending on what the price was, worst case scenario, it would be a learning experience. It's tuition that I would be paying for this experience, is sort of how I saw it. I did have a bit of a flag when he wanted me to send him money through Western Union. That lit things off, and I almost totally disconnected at that point. So I went to my good friend ChatGPT. I do like ChatGPT to bounce ideas off of. And I said, ChatGPT, boom, 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 boom. This is what happened. What do you think? And ChatGPT was like, Western Union, that's a bit of a flag. I was like, yeah, ChatGPT, I agree with you. And ChatGPT was like, you know what? What you could do is you could suggest that he could pay you through these other payment services. And he ChatGPT, sometimes a woman, but apparently was a man in this situation, gave me 3 options. One of which was PayPal, and the guy said he can't do PayPal. And ChatGPT is like, yep, can't do PayPal in that country. That's a fact. Okay. But tried one of these others. And so I was like, okay, well, if he insists on Western Union, deal breaker, not doing this. But sure enough, he's like, okay, I will set up this other account for you so that you can pay me. And I was like, great. Because I told him, it's like, I have some flags with it being Western Union. I want to make sure that that there's some protection in place here when it comes to payments. So he set up an account. That was great. I was like, okay, this gives me a little bit more confidence. This is a guy who's just trying to make a living. He's just trying to make a living in his life. And I was like, good. You go on with yourself and we'll see how this goes. So I gave him a list of my videos for him to go and do SEO optimization on. So he got started right away. Great guy in that sense. I could tell he was using AI, right? I use AI, as you know already. As I already told you, ChatGPT is my friend. So I use ChatGPT to create some of my descriptions, and I could see from the formatting, it was very similar. The little emojis, the little sparkle emojis. But I was like, you know what? For me, it's worth it. It means that it's time that I am not spending on ChatGPT, that somebody else is doing it. And on top of it, he is going to have more experience and expertise with SEO than I am. So he's going to maybe know how to tell AI to write it a little bit better than I am. So I'm like, great, he's using his resources. He's not charging me a lot of money. Okay, that's fine. So then he writes me and he's like, hey, lady. I mean, he was very respectful, to be honest. But he was like, hey, lady, your thumbnails, they're not good. They're not good. And I was like, fair enough. I feel a little bit lost when it comes to thumbnails. I'm doing my best, but I'm not a thumbnail designer. So he was like, I want to take a crack at making your thumbnails. So I was like, okay, right, we'll see what you make. So I asked him, give me a few examples of previous thumbnails that you've done. And he did. And I was like, okay, fair. All right. These look decent. Some are better than others, but okay. And so I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. So he decided to take a crack at one of mine and he did it. And I was like, that's fair enough. Like, it certainly isn't worse than what I do. So I'm like, sure, we'll give this a shot. I'm all about experimenting. I mean, that's the great thing about being a young channel is you can experiment and see what works and see what doesn't work, just like this video. This is an experiment as well to see if people want this sort of content. And on that note, if you could look at my thumbnails, right? If you could do me a favor as I'm learning, look at my thumbnails. Do you like them? Do you not? Are there ones that you resonate with? If you could leave me some comments and let me know what you think, I would appreciate it because I am trying to find my way through this YouTube world. So he put the first one up. And then I got up the next day because he's working overnight because in a different time zone. Got up the next day and I have this gigantic spike, right? Whereas normally I'm getting, 20 views a day. I'm getting 1,000, 1,500 on this one video that put the thumbnail on there. And I was like, whoa, whoa. Okay, so thumbnails matter. So thumbnails, clearly my thumbnails were horrible. And now I have a thumbnail that people actually want to click. So I was like, this is a really good lesson to me. I really need to be investing in thumbnails. So I was like, great. And I messaged him like, hey, wow, this is really taken off. This is fantastic. Good job. But I will tell you, my intuition did not leave me. My intuition was like, this is a little weird. This is a little weird that you had this big of a spike from thumbnails. So I started poking around because I have learned to listen to my intuition. And as I continue to look at this, it was like this huge spike that then crashed. And so I began to wonder, is this a click farm? So for those of you who don't know what a click farm is, I watched a YouTube video on it, so now I'm an expert. A click farm is when they are either actual people that are paid in some these poor people in some room somewhere that have like lines of cell phones and they're clicking on things. The other option is actual AI that goes in, that is programmed to go in and look at videos. I had watched a video, so I was aware of this technique in, different countries. So I was a little suspicious that this is what was going on. So I began to crawl around into my analytics to see where these clicks were coming from. And at first, it looked like they were coming from search. And so my first look, it didn't look suspicious. I mean, it was suspicious, but it was like, it seemed legitimate enough to me. So I was like, okay. But it was a little disheartening because I wasn't getting any likes and I wasn't getting any subscribers, even though it was like 1,500 views. And I thought, well, maybe my content is just crap. Maybe now I need to get my thumbnails sorted. And then I really had to figure out how I'm actually delivering more content because I knew my content wasn't the best. I knew I was still learning and growing and needing to figure things out, that I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. So, okay, that's what I figured at first. Okay, so continue on. He's working on another video, comes up with some more thumbnails. I give feedback. He puts one up. He does an update to one of my other videos without changing the thumbnail, changes some keywords. Okay, that's good. I don't really see any major spikes on that one. Okay, so then he works on a third video. And on the third video, he changed the thumbnail as well as the description. Okay, go to bed. Next day, wake up. And again, I have this really big spike that then crashes down, which is unusual. That usually on my videos, it's like, a slow kind of gradual climb. But in this case, actually, let's do that. Let's look at that right now. So let's take a look at all of this. I want to take you through what I was experiencing. So I'm going to switch over to the computer. Okay, so let's go through, for comparison, an example of one of my videos that he didn't touch so that you can see what my videos typically do. This is a recent one, so we can compare it. It's in the same time frame. This is my Learn Your Life Lessons in 3 Steps video. Okay, and it's done pretty well compared to my other videos. So this is right of note. Great, fantastic. So you can see here that there's this gradual increase day over day of views. I got 3 subscribers. Fine, we're making it happen. We've got 18% viewed, 18.7% viewed. And you'll see we've got here, this is your little behind the scenes if you haven't seen this before. There's a pretty big drop off in the first 30 seconds, which is typical, right? For videos, you log on, you're like, what is this content? This isn't something I want to watch. Pass. And then you see over time that gradually people stick around, or they get distracted and they figure out they've learned whatever it is they want to learn. And then we have about 8%, 9%, 10% that get to the end. This is where I'm at right now on my channel as I'm learning and growing on my content. But this is, I would say, pretty typical. Yeah, this is pretty typical about what I usually see. Now I'm going to go to the second video. So this is the video where I figured out what was going on, that he was using some sort of click farms. And I'm going to talk to you about why that's a problem in a second, because it is a problem. Look, I've got 1.1 thousand views. That's a heck of a lot more than that really good 64 on my last video, right? And I have 2 subscribers. Okay, that seems a little odd that I only have 2. I've got 1,100 people that watched it, but only 2 people subscribed. So, okay, I mean, maybe my content is total crap, but 2 people did like it. So you would think out of 1,100 people, a few more people would enjoy it. Okay, so you see here, I looked at the last 28 days. So this is what I was seeing. It's like nothing, 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 one here, one there. A huge spike up to 1018, and then it drops off like a cliff, immediately back down to 1 and to what it was performing, right? Huge spike, 1,000 views. Seems odd, seems suspicious. Okay, so let's just focus in on that time period between February 14th, Valentine's Day, and February 16th and see what else we can find out. This is a little suspicious. 1,000 views, 1,000 unique viewers. Usually these are different numbers, and it's a very round number. Then we go to audience retention, just in that time period, where it seems a little odd that it's 90% and then all of a sudden it drops to like nothing and gets 0%. That seems weird. That seems weird to me. Okay, well, let's look at the first one that he touched, the first spike. I started digging into this. This was the spirit guides one. He changed the thumbnail, he changed the title of it, he changed the description. So again, you see, had, very few views, and then all of a sudden, after about the first 6 days, I go from 17 to 2,676. So quite a huge spike. Okay. 99.5% found them through YouTube search. That seems a little odd. It seems a little suspicious that it's not more spread out amongst all of the various different other channel options. Okay? And then we look down here and look at this. It goes from 99% to 1%, 0% at the 36 mark. Look at that, 0.000% from there on out. Now, my video could have absolutely sucked. However, it seems a little odd that 2.7 thousand people, all of them, every single one of them, took off. Nobody even had it in the background. They just forgot to click off. Let's look at, okay, so this is before he had touched it. There was a little bit of views, a bit of a spike on the 9th, Sunday. I don't know, people maybe on Sunday were looking around. Maybe I changed the thumbnail myself. I play around with the thumbnails and then it goes back down. Okay. I got a subscriber. I got 1 subscriber in those 16 views. Looking into that time period before he had touched it, February 6th through 11th, you can see kind of goes up. I've got 25%, goes down, up, down, all over. Granted, apparently not resonating with those 16 people very much, but regardless, about 6% got to the end. About 16 people, 1 of them stuck it out to the end. Okay, 1 out of 16. So if we're going to now take that up to 1,000, 2,000 people, you would expect, right? You would expect about the same rate to carry over. Now we're going to go February 11th through February 13th. 100%. Look at that, 12-second mark, down to the 24-second mark. Now I have 0.1. That means probably 1 organic person. Nobody, just flatlined. Now let's go ahead and look where those folks are coming from. Those 2.6 thousand people who clicked off by the 30-second mark. 99.9% from India. 99.9% from India. That also is a clue, like what's going on here. So then by this point, I had figured it out. I saw the 99%. I saw that there was a variety of watch time prior to the change and then tanked after the change. I mean, maybe if he's legit, let's say he's legit and just people hated my video. hated it. 100% of 2,600 people hated my video. Then he's not putting the right SEO words if all of them are from India and they all hate my video. Clearly, best case scenario, he is not finding the right audience. But suspicious. And if it was just that one, maybe that's the case. Let's look at another one. Let's look at the final one. Karmic relationships. 3,800 views. At this point, I realized that something was happening. And I went to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT's like, you should take this offline. So I took it offline so that it stopped getting bombarded by the views. And I brought it back online like a day later. And the views immediately started going up again. And so I took it offline. And then finally, I was like, I had posted a lot of shorts that were going to direct back to this video. So I wanted the video to be live just in case anybody on the shorts wanted to watch the full video, and just realized like I just need to let the bots play out so that I can get through this period and put it in my past. Okay, so again, you see sort of a gradual increase and then all of a sudden this huge spike. The search term is exactly the title. And then note there's this weird little code at the end of it. That's interesting. Okay, we don't know about this. Don't know why that would be suggesting this video. That seems a little weird. And again, 99% from YouTube search. So again, we have this, and then it drops off to 0%. But if I look at before he's made any changes to it, we see that, it drops off to about 2 minutes, and then, small amounts stick through. Of the few people that watched it, we had 14% get to the end. But then after he touched it, 99.7% at 20 seconds, and then drops off to 2.2%. Again, probably one person organically. Okay, one last thing. Let's look at the audience. 99.2% from India. Well, there you go. So why should I care, right? All of a sudden, now I have these videos. I got an increase in my watch hours, which counts if you want to get monetization, because even 20 seconds times 3,000 people is watch time. Well, the reason this is a huge problem, besides the fact that it's totally against YouTube's rules, is what it's telling the YouTube algorithm. It is telling the YouTube algorithm, hey, 2,000 people watched this video and they laughed at the 20-second mark. So if you were to tell somebody 2,000 people at the 20-second mark said peace out, you know that that is a horrible video that nobody likes. And what that means is that the YouTube algorithm is going to put that video in the graveyard. It's going to say, this is a horrible video. We don't want to show this to anybody because nobody likes this. Whereas in the past, prior to that, maybe it wasn't the greatest video, but there was a small handful of people that liked it. And maybe the YouTube algorithm would go, well, if you're this person who's searching this and this, you might like this video. So here you go. It would be a very slow growth. Again, it's an opportunity for me to learn and grow personally as I'm posting these videos. But now these videos that I put time into, whatever you want to think the quality of them is, now they are dead to the YouTube algorithm. It's possible people can find them via search, but again, the YouTube algorithm is going to say, these are horrible videos, 2,000 people, 100% of them dropped off in 20 seconds. For me, being authentic is critical. It is very important for me to live in authenticity. If my videos aren't great, well, that's fine, but they're real. They're me. I'm learning. I'm growing. Being a channel that is authentic and real is my number one priority. That and helping people. But I don't think I can help people if I'm not being honest. So I fired him. Best case scenario, he was horrible at SEO, only getting people in India who hate my kind of video. Worst case scenario, he is a scammer that does this to a lot of people and hires lots of click farms. I will tell you what I think. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. This is what my intuition tells me. My intuition tells me this is a guy in a country who's trying to make a living. right? He's trying to make a living. He sees the US market as a place that has a lot more money and that he wants a piece of that. And that is fair. That is completely fair. He wants to do SEO. He has some skills. Is he an expert? Maybe. He certainly knows AI tools. He knows what to look for. He knows how to use those AI tools. He has a sense of YouTube thumbnails and what's going to work a little bit better and what's not. He has a service that he can offer people and he wants to offer people. But I think that he is afraid. I think he's afraid that if he doesn't get these sorts of results, these really dramatic results for his customers, they won't want to work with him. They're not going to value spending money on him. And so he feels maybe the pressure to get these big numbers so that they will continue to work with him. I think he genuinely does do the work. He genuinely created some YouTube thumbnails for me and created some descriptions for me. I think he genuinely looked at what SEO keywords worked, but he also didn't believe enough in himself or in the relationship to be able to be authentic himself. And as such, he did something that he probably did in a place of fear. I don't need fear in my channel. I've got enough of my own fear I'm working through. I don't need somebody else's. I don't need somebody else's. I need somebody who's living in their own integrity and authenticity. And that he put my channel at risk, that's not going to fly with me. Now I can't trust him, which is too bad because it really was getting to the point where I was like, maybe he's not the A-level thumbnail maker or description writer, but you know what? It was worth it to me to not have to go through all of my own angst to try different things out. I'll let him try some things. We'll see how it works. I was ready to continue to work with him until I found out that he really did some really unethical things. So you'll see as you look around my channel, there are 3 videos that have an enormous amount of spikes on them. I'm hoping it doesn't get me in trouble. I don't really know what else to do. I'm not monetized right now, so it's not like I made any money off of them. I'm hoping that with time, those will just go in the past and those will be learning lessons. It is what it is, and I just have to move forward. And in the end, do I regret it? No. I actually don't regret it. I don't regret it because it was a really good learning experience. Now, if you know me at all, if you have watched any of my other videos, if you're the one person who made it to the end of one of my videos, you'll know that I believe that everything that we're experiencing in life is an opportunity to grow, that we experience challenges in our life because there's something that we have to gain from them. These are opportunities, they're homework assignments. So this experience was wonderful for me because I learned about how it is to work with another person. I got to test out my intuition and see, okay, my intuition was spot on. My guides were spot on. It was okay. I got something out of it. It wasn't horrible or destructive. I feel like the amount of money I spent, like I said, I put that money down knowing that maybe this was going to be the cost of tuition. And so it was. It was still of value to me to learn what I learned. Now I know more about SEO. I went and did my own research. I know more about different types of thumbnails I might want to play around with. And I also learned a lot about not doing this all on my own and how valuable it is to work with other people. So yeah, I don't regret it. I feel bad for this guy who wants to get by in life and wants to put food on his family's table and wants to be successful as well and isn't in a place where he feels like he can do that in an authentic, powerful way. So I wish him well. I really, really do. And I hope he finds his way to his personal power where he can stand up and say, hey, what I have to offer is enough. And I don't have to use any tricks or gimmicks in order to get ahead. So that is my experience on being scammed, if you want to call it that, from an SEO expert. Has this happened to you? Have you had this experience? Do you have any advice for me on what I should be doing with these videos? Should I just take them offline? I feel bad because I still feel like there's some good content in them, potentially. And they're also a part of my journey and my story, and I don't want to disown that. Hey, well, on that note, if you want to stick around and see what else I get up to, I'm going to be doing some more videos on my experience as a spiritual YouTuber. So if that's something that you're interested in and learning about what I'm learning about, subscribe. Be one of those few little people that hit the subscribe button, and we'll see where this all goes. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it.